Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Alvin Bragg's case is falling apart. Even the liberals are turning on him. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Now, pretty progressive CNN host Fareed Zakaria was speaking on Sunday during his weekly show when he stated what I think a lot of us believe, and it's something that I think really haunts Bragg's case. I think it's ultimately that what even in New York could be the end of his case because, look, jurors are human beings. And no matter how much they dislike former President Donald Trump, at the end of the day, they probably dislike being lied to, being worked, being, run amok, being scallywagged by a slick district attorney who ignores regular crime in his city for some white-collar crime against a political opponent. Well, what Fareed Zakaria said was, look, we all know that this case is never brought unless the defendant's name is Trump. That's stunning to hear from a CNN correspondent, CNN anchor. This is a big-time guy at CNN. This is not some mini reporter guy. This is a guy with his own show. I happen to watch Fareed every week, disagree with a lot of what he says, but it's a really good show. And I want you to watch this clip and tell me if you agree with him when you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.
Immigration, Biden is 35 points behind Trump as to who would handle it better. And I do wonder whether abortion will be as large an issue in a presidential race, given that reversing Roe v. Wade threw the issue to state governments and legislatures and not the federal government. Perhaps the most worrying new trend for the Democrats is that far from being the more unified party, they are now bitterly divided over the war in Gaza. Bernie Sanders has said the eruption of pro-Palestinian protests could be Biden's Vietnam, and even invoked the specter of Lyndon Johnson choosing not to run for re-election in 1968 because of the opposition to that war. The analogy is far-fetched. America then was itself sending hundreds of thousands of troops to Vietnam, with more being recruited from college campuses every week. But there's no denying that the party seems more openly divided than it has been in decades. Only 33% of Americans said they approved of Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war, which is now opposed both by people who think he is too soft and people who think he is too hard on Israel. Meanwhile, Republicans seem to be uniting behind Trump. Whatever opposition he faced in the primaries has largely melted away. And the trials against him keep him in the spotlight, infuriate his base, who sees him as a martyr, and even may serve to make him the object of some sympathy among people in general who believe that his prosecutors are politically motivated. This happens to be true, in my opinion. I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump. A majority of Americans are skeptical that Trump will be able to get a fair trial, according to a CNN poll. And I haven't even mentioned Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Cornel West and Jill Stein, all of whom would probably take votes away from Biden. Things could change. Polls do suggest that were Trump to be convicted of a felony, it could shift votes in Biden's favor. The administration may be able to pull off a ceasefire in Gaza and then a broader political settlement that gives Palestinians political rights and Israel diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia. Trump could always embroil himself in some kind of scandal. But trend lines are not working in Biden's favor. He needs to do something bold and dramatic to seize the initiative, on asylum policy, for example, and reverse these numbers.